July 18. I don't have a meter stick, so I use feet. So it's 36.5 inches by 36.5 inches, or 3 feet by 3 feet, 9 square feet. It's close enough to 1 meter. So we're going to use this to measure out an area and in the rice field. We are measuring how many hills is within a 3 by 3 feet square, so 9 square feet, basically 1 square meter. It would be nice if there were 25? Oh, sige. 25 hill in 9 square feet. Now we're going to count the teller within a hill. So let's count. So we're going to count productive teller. So this is panicle, and this will be a productive teller. It is a productive teller. So I'm just gonna note the data. Without data, everything is opinion. So we're here in Laod, and we're going to count how many hill within that 3 square feet or 1 square meter. So here we're in Munoz. So we have 21 hills per square meter, and one hill number 1 is 28. Mano ata? 37 tellers in one of the hill number 2. Okay, another place in Munoz, we're going to count how many hill then the tellers. So we got back from the field, and I documented the data that we gotten from those 3 different places. We'll start with Mormon. So using 1 square meter or 9 square feet, it's close enough. There were 25 hill within the square meter. Hill 1 has 26 teller, hill 2 has 23. So I averaged them down to 24 teller. The spikelet per teller is unknown at this time. I will know it later when before we begin to harvest, so that I can quantify these teller. The area is 10,000 square meter. So using this data, so we have 25 in 1 square meter, and there are 10,000 square meters. So 25 times 10,000 is 250,000. And 2 gram as example. Quite frankly, it might be less. At the moment, we'll just use 2 for point of reference. And using this number, the average 24, we multiplied them out. 250,000 plants times 2 grams times 24 teller divided by 1,000 to get 12,000 kilogram, or 240 sack per hectare with 50 kilogram per sack. Now, please don't get excited. There is going to be a correction factor. We just don't know what the correction factor is. Once the idea then is to gather the mass of a teller and then recalculate, and then have the actual yield, and then correct the estimate according to those two unknown data. So at the moment, total mass per hectare is proportional to this equation. There will be some K or constant which will be determined once we know the mass of spikelet and the total yield. However, it would be great if we actually will harvest this many. Then then the correction factor might be like a percentage. The correction, the estimate will be over, and the actual will be under. So we will then find out the information later. So the other place is Laod, and we measure out to be 20 hill per square meter. Hill 1 has 40 productive teller and hill 2 has 40, so the average is 40. Again, it's 10,000 square meter, and 20 hill times 10,000 is 200,000 plants, and 2 gram as an example, and multiplying out the number, 200,000 plants times 2 grams times 40 teller comes out to 16,000 kilogram, or 320 sack per hectare. I mean, this number is really optimistic, but again, there will be a correction factor. I don't know how big the correction factor is. It could be 50% correction factor. I don't know. However, by knowing the correction factor, we can certainly determine what things to do at the next go around. Moving on to Munoz, we went to 2 different places. Place 1, or Munoz-1, I call it, we counted 21 hill per square meter. We counted hill 1 and hill 2, 32 teller is the average. Again, 10,000 square meter. Quite frankly, I'm using 1 hectare just for ease of computing. So 21 hill per square meter, and there's 10,000 square meter, then it's 210,000 plants. And going through the motion of multiplying, 210,000 times 2 grams times 32 teller divided by 1,000 gives you 13,440 kilogram, or 268 sack per hectare. Again, there will be a correction factor. Now we went to a different area and we counted 18 hill per square meter. And hill number 1 is 36 teller, hill number 2 is 33. Again, the average is 34. Again, 18 times 10,000 is 180,000 plants. Multiplying out the numbers, then here we have 12,240 kilogram. Now I can average out these two numbers to get an average number. It's at this point it's irrelevant. I mean, they're just guesstimate or estimate. The thing is, they are over 200,000. They are over 200 sack per hectare. So I mean, as I gather more data and understand the correction factor, then I can then come close to actually correcting estimate versus yield, actual yield. And that is the next thing I want to understand. What is the correction factor? By how much? By what percentage? And in fact, if I gather the mass of a teller, then have the actual yield, I can get the estimate closer to actual yield. However, at the moment, there are a few unknowns which needs to be sorted out in the next several weeks. Actually, we're getting close to harvesting, and it is now 18, so 2 more weeks, say for example. So 3 weeks I will be harvesting, and then I will figure out the mass of spikelet, the average mass for spikelet actually, because when I was looking at the field, spikelet or panicles, they have different size panicles. So, and I expected that. So I'm going to average out the mass per hill. Thanks for watching.